I can get down.
Oh my God! I didn't even know how we did this last time. Look at all the talent assembled right here. We don't have enough microphones or enough headphones for all of this, but damn, I'm glad to see you, Brockhampton. What is going on right here? Welcome back. New music, new video. Oh man, you're all healthy. Everyone's good. Everyone's still got their hair. Complexions are all good. Everyone seems healthy and happy. What's going on? How are you, man? What's happening? Take the lead.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. New music overnight with the video and everything else.
Did you like it?
I love it. I love the video as well. The whole black and white. The way that you've made a feature out of the angles and really made the camera work. You know, the primary focus ultimately, along with the performance. Some of my favorite music videos of all time have been just that. That's what Spike Jones really sort of, to me, mastered early on. Was he was like, it's okay if you just put a great angle in place and get a great performance. We don't need all the other accoutrements, you know. Who directed the video and what was the whole vibe behind it?
Our friend Spencer Ford. I pretty much direct all the videos, and if I don't, he does. We were in Berlin, and we asked him to just come out and do a video, and he just had the idea, and we did it really quick.
How did he sell it? What was the pitch? What's the idea? What was the idea?
We're gonna go in the street, put the camera on the ground, and you guys are gonna perform, and the camera's gonna be spinning. So cool.
That's what I mean. It's just such a simple kind of a setup, but it looks so effective. It really works with the track. And would you think about videos when you're making the music? I mean, do you think about visuals? You're such a visual band. You have a filmography. I don't know too many creative musical outfits that actually have a bona fide filmography. Do you think about the way things are gonna look when you're making them?
Always, yeah. We try to come up with a name first and like the visual world for it, you know? And once those two things are set, then making the music becomes a bit easier.
So who came up with the name I've Been Born Again? Who came up with that? Where'd that come from?
I think it was me and... Who was it?
I think it was you.
I think it was just me.
Yeah.
I stole it from a gospel song I've been listening to.
Okay, you've been listening to a lot of gospel music?
Yeah.
What have you been listening to?
There's this project called 100 Gex I really like.
Okay.
It's like a coffee, if it was a song.
It's like coffee. But the coffee, there's a lot of coffee. What kind of coffee?
Like the most caffeine ever.
Right, the most caffeinated experience of all time?
Yes.
What have you been listening to?
Baby Keem.
Oh man,
so good.
A lot of people talking about Baby Keem right now. Someone came up to me the other day and said Baby Keem is the greatest rapper on the planet.
I am 50 Cent.
Yo, that's not my baby.
I am 50 Cent.
That's not my baby. That's not my
The claims
baby.
of Baby Keem are true. He is the best rapper.
And people are talking about him in the biggest way. What are you listening to?
Baby Cody. He from Houston.
Okay. And what else? Who else? Who wants to chime in?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Oscar Peterson.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah, man.
What era? What decade?
Just Plays Pretty is the album title.
Yeah.
I really love that one. Then I download random ones, and then I'll just let them play all the way through.
It's so funny. I came from the era of crate digging, right? Where you would go into the local record stores in Auckland and there'd just be racks and racks and racks of random sort of like dodgy records that are secondhand, and you just go and find them and you look for the year and you go 1973 and you go, absolutely, I'm buying that no matter what it sounds like. And then you look at the cover and you go, man, that looks so cool, I'm going to buy that. Now on iTunes, I swear, it's the easiest thing to crate dig in the world because everything is out there. It's you just go thread for thread, you download and you go. It's mad. What are you listening to?
The Baby Keem album's fire.
Baby Keem, Baby Keem, Baby Keem.
I like Megan Thee Stallion's album.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been listening to a lot of Ginger.
A lot of ginger.
Yeah,
We're going to get to all
ginger
that.
on repeat.
We had to clear the palette and talk about music as a holistic experience before we zero in on the linear Brockhampton
played a lot of
experience.
ginger.
But if you want to do that, we can do that now. If you want to speed it up again, we can do that right now. Welcome back, boys. It's good to see you. I love how you roll through and see us. Boom. Back.
Bang.
Just like that. Ginger, we know it's coming. Now we had the first taste of new music in the video. You got the merch already locked in?
Yeah, well,
Is that a prototype?
no, it's the real thing. You want some?
Hell yeah.
John can get you one.
Yeah.
Good looking out, man. Appreciate it. Brockhampton live in the studios right now. I've Been Born Again. Where'd the vocal sample come from at the end? That plays such a prominent role in the last 45 segens.
Jabari could talk about it.
Which part of that, the little breakdown area?
Yeah.
That's my brother HK actually. That's HK.
It sounds familiar.
Just giving you some words of motivation. Sometimes you need that. It felt right there.
Are you guys, what's going on, you guys? Sneaking in, good to see you. Are you guys always recording? Are you always capturing things that could end up in songs like that? Because I think a lot of people go into studios and make music and by design and whatever, but I feel like you guys are always capturing all the time.
I would say so. I feel like we try to do things in an unorthodox way. It doesn't necessarily have to be like your whole traditional setup, just wherever feels right. Like that's really how I set up my studios for sale, like I might just set up in the living room. Like I don't need to be in a control room to make this shit work.
Now, why would you be in a weird way?
I've seen Bari make beats outside, like just in grass.
Sometimes that's the vibe.
No, I mean, what's the point in having portable recording abilities if you're not going to go find places that inspire you? And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but a majority of recording studios I've set foot in are windowless, difficult, oppressive places to go and try and create. It can be really tricky to try and do that, you know? And I think the fact that you guys have kind of created an environment based out of lifestyle really comes through in your music. So that leads me to the next question, which is, what is the lifestyle and what's been the changes in the lifestyle, right? I mean, everybody's kind of moved off and done different things to a degree. Has that made it easier and better when you come back together to create, to not be in this kind of environment where you all started? Anyone, answer that question. Anyone, answer that question. 1, 2, 3.
Who do you think, Juba? Yeah, I'll slide in.
By the way, shouts to him for just rolling in the Prius today and just like giving me like a V sign and then taking like some employee's car park, like he works upstairs across the way. I was literally just parking my car and this Prius goes past and he looks across at me, he just gives me the most nonchalant V sign, then takes a sharp right and takes Sam from accounting's parking space.
Sorry, Sam.
Just like it's nothing, to the point where I was like, yo, nah, couldn't be. And he just sat there like just being a boss in the parking space for like 10 minutes hanging out. Respect.
Well, I'm sorry to take your spot, Sam.
He's on a holiday, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I feel like obviously the biggest difference is all of us living in our own kind of shindigs, our own get-ups. It's helped me a lot personally. I feel like it's helped all of us just kind of find our own growing understanding of ourselves outside of each other.
And when you come back together to make music, not being able to wake up in the morning and just move as and when. Because when you're living in the same space, you walk into that living room where that microphone is set up and it's just like, all right, we have one thing to do today. It's this. And now you have life, and that's good because life's important. Creativity affords you life, and life inspires creativity, right? It's just the dance that you have to do constantly. And now you've gone and prioritized your lives. When you come back to creative, is it more focused? Is it a more focused experience? I guess what I'm asking you is probably the most serious question I'll ask you today is how has that process changed? Because so much was made of the way that you live together. People loved that idea. And now that you don't, how has the creative process changed for you?
I feel like trusting that we all have put in all that time together side by side.
Yeah.
And trusting our heart's response to, I guess the call to creativity. Just like trusting the process, moving through it. Not even talking about what we're gonna talk about or what a topic even is. I mean,
just an understanding.
Yeah.
An understanding from that previous era.
When you work with a group of people for so long, you start to develop like your own creative language. And you don't necessarily talk, you can just look at somebody and know what's going through their head. And just because we live in separate houses now doesn't mean that language is lost.
No, it's great.
We still speak that.
It's great because now we know there's longevity. Like this could have been a beautiful experiment. This really probably by design should have been a beautiful experiment. If you take a look at it on paper and the history that's gone before, put all of you talented and creative young people into one living environment and make as much music as you made over a short period of time, those things aren't meant to last. The fact that you've been able to come back with this new album, Ginger, or project, whatever you want to call it, I get called out for calling things albums now. Everyone's like, it's not even an album. Is it an album?
Yes.
Cool. This new album called Ginger, and you're living in different spaces, and yet you regroup and come back together. I'm like, oh, great, we got Brockhampton for life now. That's how I feel. Sorry to put pressure on you, but that's just how I feel.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys, we're going to come back and talk in more detail about Ginger, so prepare your answers. I don't want any of this restricted flow of information bullshit. I want you guys to tell me the truth. Oh, that's that tone. That's that tone. So good, man. Who has one really amazing memory about making this song? Come on, boys to men, jump in. I can see you thinking.
That was a better one.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Kim?
I just feel like the second half of that was pretty special.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a fun night. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Cool, share it.
The second half, I think Karen had started
You can tell her.
We were working. We finished the first half of the song, and I felt like it needed. I compared it to like New Slaves. The second half of New Slaves, where like, it gets really soulful. Asked Kieran if he had anything, and he showed us a song he had called "Freak," and we just like merged them together.
That's a beautiful thing.
And then we built upon it and added like this like super soulful element to the end. I added vocals, Joba. Yeah, it was cool, and Matt's on that too, I think.
It's one of those moments for me where, and you've done this sort of pretty consistently since you began, but that was like a step up. Like for me, listening to that song, so much going on in it. And like you said, the second half of it, when it suddenly became this whole other thing that still made sense, I was like, oh, okay.
It's probably my favorite, like one of my favorite moments from us, like musically.
Yeah. No, for sure. Because it has this crazy instant vintage feel to it too. Like you jacked a break or something, do you know what I mean? And you sort of updated it and then turned it into something modern, which is one of my favorite things. And you're right, Ye does it brilliantly. He does his amazing ability to make timeless, soulful stuff sound very weird and modern and twisted.
Yeah.
That's like his thing. Where's Dom?
He's in Seattle. He'll be back in a few days.
Can we get him up? We FaceTime?
He said he wanted.
He said he was listening.
There he is. What up, Dom?
What's up, y'all? How you guys
Yo,
doing?
Dom, man, we have the clearest line for you, bro. It's like Big Dom is right here in the building. What's going
Yeah,
on?
I'm on my iPad, so it's pretty good.
It's clean. We got the whole. Listen, congratulations on the new music and the video, man, and everything that's going
Thank you
on.
so much, man. Thank you so much.
How's his prayer hands? How's Seattle?
This is so funny.
Seattle's awesome. I'm actually gonna head up to Bellingham right now to go do a couple of final packing things with my girlfriend, and then we're heading down to Los Angeles.
Wow, so that's the full move.
Yeah,
Crazy. You must be super
next
excited.
chapter. I'm pretty excited about it.
You must be super excited about it, man. Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, listen, while we got you on the line, we got everybody else here. I guess now's the time to dive into Ginger and tell us what you can. I suppose the obvious place to start is the start. When did you guys actually begin a new Brockhampton project? And did you even stop working from the last one?
It was around the time I was getting close to finishing my solo album. I kind of got in a weird headspace where like I couldn't finish it, and I wanted to start working on a new creative project. So I asked the guys if they wanted to start the next Brockhampton thing. So I think I was like,
To kind of help you finish your one in a weird way.
Exactly. And we when was that? Like March.
Yeah, it must have been earlier this year because that's when we were talking. Man, congratulations on that record, by the way. I haven't really had a chance because we sort of connected when it was starting to happen.
Yeah.
But we never really had much of a conversation after it came out, and I love that. It's one of my favorite projects of the year.
Thank you very much.
I absolutely love it, and you guys must all agree. I mean, it's amazing to see everybody step out and do their own thing in whatever capacity, but man, congrats. It's a massive
Thanks
project.
so much, man.
Yeah, really incredible.
It's incredible.
So when you guys got back together, that must have been a nice moment too, because obviously you're not beholden to each other to the degree where creativity is imprisoned. It's not like, wow, you can't leave the band. Like it was formed out of individual pursuits into a collective of individual pursuits, right? So you're not going to be mad at anybody doing whatever they want to do. But it must have been a nice call, nonetheless, to know that Kevin was out there doing his own thing, but he's like, I kind of need to get the band back together to sort of get this to the next level. What was the first step that you guys took as a band toward recording? Like, what was the first song you did, or where did you record it?
Well, before we started even recording songs, like me and Romel and Kiko, we were making like beats way back in like March, like even before we got together and recorded.
Like prep, like just kind of getting the ball rolling.
Yeah, just prepping. Although a lot of these beats did not make it onto the album, but like we were doing all that. I think then after that we started hanging out with Shia.
Yeah.
Came to the house. We had he just put us on so much game.
Shia
LaBeouf.
Yeah, now he's been popping up in all the right places lately. And he seriously is like he's a person of infinite fascination to me right now. The way that he just seems to handpick the right moments to appear. Do you know what I mean?
Inspiring, yeah.
Like he just kind of is dialed into the right energy, I feel.
He's in tune.
Yeah, so how did he tune into Brockhampton? You talked about his influence, or at least showing up, and it would be rude not to find out what kind of impact he made.
Talk about that more.
Like how did going back to Arizona Baby, I couldn't come up with the right like video idea I was proud of for my song Georgia. And I really hate asking people for things, but I decided to hit Jaden Smith and ask him if he could introduce me to Shia.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I've been such a big fan. And then Jaden like told him I wanted to talk to him, and Shia texted me that same day. And we were all freaking out, and he came over like maybe a week later or something. Yeah, and it was amazing. And going back to what Jabari was saying, the original idea was let's get the producers in the group to make as many beats as possible. So when the entire group gets together, we can meet up and just like start recording to all these beats, kind of like we did like back in the day and working on early stuff. Just wanted to add that there.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why we did that too, because like our living situation has changed. So we were trying to be able to come back and just be able to work.
No, I love that. You guys are sort of thinking, look, it's cool if everyone's going and living their lives, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't be productive and give everybody a reason to get back together.
Exactly.
Because
I remember,
Although, like towards the middle of the process, it kind of ended up being a thing where we just all ended up staying together and like not leaving whatever houses we were at.
That's cool. That's really cool, dude. I mean, I'm going to throw a word out there, which I hope because I think it's one of the best words of all time, man. But there's a romance to this project. It's like awesome the way you guys come together and find this creative ability and desire to want to work with one another, and it just feels very egoless. What are you going to say, Dom?
oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I remember when Shia came to our house. I think for the first time he came to our house, actually, like immediately after like our conversation ended, me and Jabari just went downstairs and I think we made like 2 or 3 tracks that night, and that was like the first time that we like really got into a flow of like just, you know, being really ready to like start that next step. And it was a really fun, exciting moment, you know. So I'm just grateful for everything that's conspired, you know, to like lead up to everything that we get to in these places, you know.
I mean, we don't have to turn this into like the Shia LaBeouf Memorial, but I'm kind of as obsessed as you guys are because of the fact that everyone who knows him or who gets to know him walks away with more than just a friendship or whatever. It's like he's an infinitely motivating human being who seems to understand how to cut through things. And I mean, did he make it on the record himself? Does he actually like show up on the thing on Ginger?
No.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. That's even better.
For sure.
But he definitely plays some kind of spiritual advisorial role.
He's like my mentor, big brother, you know.
That's so sick. I love it. Brockhampton live with us right now. We got Dom in Seattle. We got everybody else here nestled in. I think I just got a message, bro. I think they're towing your Prius, unfortunately, man. I hate to break it.
It's all right. It was on its last leg.
I hate to break it to you. I'm going to play Georgia. Kevin, come back and catch up with the crew in a minute. But, you know,
Thanks.
let's pay respects to this brilliant album by Kevin Abstract, which is in Apple Music now. Okay. What are the chords on that? Do you know?
I don't know any music theory, so I kind of programmed the chords in Ableton, and then Jack Antonoff, who did the record with us, replayed them on like the Mellotron and guitar, a bunch of stuff. He's a fucking wizard.
He is a wizard.
I love that guy.
No, he's amazing, and he's really built like quite a sort of varied collection of sounds and projects and flavors too.
He's incredible.
You know, sometimes you think you have that atypical idea of what a record producer is, and that's your sound. And I don't think Jack has one. You know, it's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I love that.
Kevin Abstract, Arizona Baby, has kind of kicked the whole thing off, but of course the album is legit, and that is Georgia. We got Brockhampton with us right now. We have Dom here in Seattle. Dom is with us, getting ready to pack his bags and move and join the crew in Los Angeles. Is everybody still in Los Angeles, by the way, or have some people taking the opportunity to bounce out? Everyone's still in there?
Yeah, we're all here.
So getting back to Ginger, and I know that you don't want to give too much away because the whole idea is that it sort of comes and you're able to focus and deliver that information deliberately. So any guests on the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want us to tell you?
Listen, I don't want to spoil any surprises, but I mean, if someone slipped one out, it's not going to hurt the world. You know what I mean?
You ever heard of Deb Never?
Yes.
She's on the album.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh yeah, Ryan's on the album.
Oh, great.
Doesn't feel like a guest, so I feel like
He's like, yeah.
Ryan's like an honorary
Isn't he kind of in the band in a weird way? I mean, I know, and that's the weird thing, right? I mean, Brockhampton just seems to be kind of expanding and doing its thing and becoming
You
more
wanna
and more. I feel like I already am.
All right, perfect. Same.
No, man, we love having you guys up here in Beats One with new music, and I see tour dates as well coming through. You guys are heading back out on the road, and one thing that I really sort of haven't been able to focus on with you, because I feel that last time we caught up, you then went out on probably your best tour yet, is just how much work you put into the live show and how important it is that it feels like a moment for everybody, and it's not just, oh, give me the mic, 3, 2, 1, let's go get it done. It's like, nah, everyone's got their place. Everyone knows what they're doing. How hard was that? And how much work, which never gets talked about, was put into making sure that you guys were as cohesive as you are with that many on stage? Because that's tough.
I think it goes back to the us speaking the same language, you know, without really like talking about it. We just we all want the same thing out of this at the end of the day, you know? So like no matter what it is we're doing, we put our heart and soul into it.
What has there been a disastrous show?
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has bad shows.
Of course, but I want to hear about specifically what constitutes a Brockhampton challenge.
I got this.
Go ahead.
So yeah, one time we had a show in Houston. Oh my gosh.
Really?
So the console at the front of house was malfunctioning, right? So any change made in volume with a fader was immediately disregarded. So all the faders just wanted to go up.
Right, they're automated.
So our front of house guy was like this with all the faders,
It's like trying to hold them back.
literally trying to hold them back.
While they're all just going one at a time trying to move forward. So it's like it's like an AI disaster.
It's pretty much an automatic undo. Like you can't make a change; it just undoes.
And what are you
automatically.
hearing on stage? This is what your sound engineer is trying to do, but what are you hearing on stage?
Well, that was a whole different thing. So one of our techies side stage kind of would drop the ball as well. And that was a big show for me because that was like a homecoming show for a lot of us.
How many friends and family are in the building?
For
all
me,
of them.
yeah, I would say most.
A lot.
Texas.
That's rough.
It was just a bummer because, at the end of the day, we just want to put on a great show.
Yeah, some things are out of your control.
They're out of your control.
Like one time I was supporting Public Enemy and Ice-T at the Auckland Town Hall with my band, and my dad was up in the rafters and my shoe came off as I ran on stage. It sucked. And it went in the press pit.
So you perform with one shoe?
No, I jumped in the press pit and put it back on.
Fire.
But then I was little because I was only in my teens. So I was probably as grown as I am now, but I felt littler. So I jump in there. The distance between the floor and the stage is up to about my neck. And I can't get up. So our intro music's playing and I'm in the press pit with one shoe on.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
That's pretty awesome.
And then my partner, who's one of my best friends, is one of our son's godfather. We're still super close. But at the time, being in a band, unlike you guys, there was friction. So I swear he left me there for a good 15 seconds.
dang.
And then he came up, he finally helped me up on the stage, and I put my shoe back on, and I looked up, my dad was just not looking anywhere near my vicinity at that point. It was rough. So we all have
Sorry to
bad
hear that.
shows.
For sure.
It happens.
It must make you feel better.
It builds character.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember one show that we did at Seattle's block party.
Yeah.
Like I just gotten this pinky ring that was like all solid gold and a pyramid and had a diamond on top. Well, I don't got it no more. But the first song that we did was 1997 Diana. Mm-hmm. Give me no drugs, love me some love tonight.
That's true.
That's true. My bad.
It's okay. You got a couple of weeks before the show starts, bro. We might need some extra rehearsal time. I'm just saying.
Well,
You come out. Yeah, you come out.
So I run out on stage to Truman, and like immediately I wave my hand on the stage, and like I just see like the ring just like go flying.
Gone. Yo, that's your first advance flying out into row 12. You're done.
It's slow-mo.
You're done.
Someone came up.
And but you finished the song though.
Yeah.
The whole set.
Committed.
Oh yeah.
You committed.
Oh yeah,
That was-
man, I got the bag. I was there to have fun.
What are you gonna do? Stop the music. Give me back my ring. It was like, yo, I thought they were cool. This band's not cool. Let's take the odds. This is official merch. What are we looking at here?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This is the new.
Show on the back. Show on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Got
Oh,
beautiful boy in the back.
that's
Got
crazy.
so fire.
Who designed it?
Hey.
HK and Dom.
Yes.
Yeah, Dom did the front. He did the text on the front.
Gotta give it up to
Dom
the man
looks great.
Thank you.
And I did
Thank you so much.
The Merlin Dennis Rodman flip on the back.
Like I'm
Well, say the line, say the line.
Like I'm Dennis Rodman. Like I'm Dennis Rodman.
Diamond Dentist is so much.
All right, Brockhampton's with us right another 10 minutes or so. And yeah, it's just a joy to have you guys back with new music. We're going to play that song again, the new one again, before we bounce up and out of here as well. But if you can't wait, the video's up. As long as you promise to come back, go check it out. You have our permission, okay? That's still one of my favorite things you guys have done. Super soulful, amazing melodies, everything front and center. Where was the picture taken for the cover? I never asked you.
It's in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii. Whereabouts? Maui or Kauai? Maui?
Maui.
You guys got to make your way to Kauai.
That's the best place.
That's the best place. We spoke about that. That place is crazy. You come out of there and you just restored on every level. It's incredible.
Yeah, we got to make a whole album.
You gotta get out to that. Yeah, that would be. I mean, we talked. That'd be cool, right? Because you're in Kauai, you're forced to live local, right? Because it's not a lot of tourism going on there. It's just you just kind of slip into whatever the vibe is, wherever you're staying. So you gotta get yourself a cool like spot, big enough to record, and oh man, may never come back.
That was good.
Brockhampton are with us right now. I must love and trust you because you guys have this like fisheye camera poking up my nose so bad right now. No one's ever had so many photos or pictures of up my nostrils, and they're big nostrils. You can see the universe up those things. So.
Hey, man, it's gonna look really cool. It's gonna be worth it.
No, I trust you. I believe you. It's just you're gonna see me like dad bopping along to your music for like an hour. If that's what you guys are looking for. You got that.
You can look down at it whenever you want.
I'm looking at it right now. How many songs on Ginger?
12.
12. Out of how many possibly were contenders?
We made
like 100 songs.
We made over 100 songs.
That's insane. What, this year alone, 100 songs?
Yeah, since we started in March, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. DJ Snake just rolling in the building. French Parisian hip hop EDM legend. 100 songs down to 12. I don't even know how that filtering process goes down. Is that where things can get a little edgy if you've got a favorite, or have you just found a way? Is there a process? Do you guys like just make names on a piece of paper, pull them out of a hat? Like, how the hell do you do that?
We listened to a bunch of them for like, it was like 4 hours.
So you just went through in one big listening session, and then everyone kind of has a vote.
Yeah, exactly. Listen for like 4 hours straight. Anything we liked, we said, "Oh, we like that one," and John would write it down, and then we'd like, I guess, gave ourselves homework, and we would go back and like revisit those songs over like a period of 2-3 weeks. And
Live with them.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with the other 88 plus?
Just make more albums.
Love it.
Yeah. Trying to put out a lot of music very soon.
You guys were so trolly, man. You're like, yo, what's that last album?
That was our last album.
Oh, at that moment.
I mean, it was.
Get Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger. Oh, it's coming. So I feel like you were going to make an album and then you made Iridescence and they've made this album. Is this album supposed to be the album you were going to make before Iridescence, or is that album that came before Iridescence irrelevant and no longer an issue?
Man, we were supposed to make like 2 different albums before Iridescence, and I think this album is this album. It's not like us looking at old demos or old songs we made. It's just all brand new stuff.
Yeah.
Brand new material.
Yeah, for sure. And so I feel like Iridescence definitely had a tone to it. Without, again, kind of trying to describe music or dance about architecture, is this a sort of a whole different vibe to Iridescence? Is it kind of a different feel? Yeah. What are some of the fundamental differences for you?
I feel like with this music, you definitely could live with it more. Like, you could just put it on and do whatever you're doing. And you don't necessarily have to, like, tap into this vibe to, like, some albums you need to do that. I feel like Iridescence was, like, an amazing album, and that's an album I feel like...
Amazing album!
When I'm angsty and I'm feeling the type of way, that's
what's that opening track? The sucker, what's that track?
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. That's fine.
Said fucking brother, what you living for? They should go finish what you started, what you put it for. They told me God gave me a mission, but I'm missing the supply.
Oh my God. Let me tell you exactly where I was. Sorry if anyone's listening to this, like, yo, where's the interview? I don't do it with these guys. Just talk. Just talk. I don't care. I was in the car and I woke up the morning after the album because I just hadn't had a chance to go to really listen to it in its finished, mastered form. And you guys don't deliver until it's done. So it goes into Apple Music and I'm like super distracted. So I'll do it in the morning. I get my kids, I put them in the car, I drive to work and they go to school nearby. I put this on. I'm like, all right, we ready for Brockhampton? Because, they're as obsessed with you guys as I am. So yeah. Oh my God, cool. Okay, great, here we go.
Perfectly fine. That's fine.
Said fucking brother, what you living for? They should go finish what you started, what you put it for.
And that's as far as we went, and everyone just went, instead of just screaming uncontrollably. Like, I've got it on video somewhere because I had to record first impressions for them, but it was just like, man, that's so crazy, that track, and just like kicks it off on the whole thing. And
Thank you so much.
it must be. Is that gonna stay in the live set? Got to.
Yeah.
Live banger.
Yeah.
Got to.
That one's so good live. Yeah.
Oh my God, so good live. Song number 2.
So fun live.
Song number 2, like, bam, brand new song. Yeah, take that, and then.
Perfectly fine. That's fine.
Said fucking brother, what you living for? They should go.
That's a good idea. We might do that. That's a good idea.
That's what everybody tells me, and then they don't do it at all.
No,
Wait till you see the Chance interview that's coming out in a couple of days' time. I'm like, yo, you should make that the last song. He's like, okay. And then the album comes out, it's the first song. You don't care. Cool. 12 songs from the new album, Brockhampton Ginger. When do we get it? Is it release date out? Am I sleeping on that? Ah, hands up. Did you see? Oh my God, did you see Kelly with the head shake there? It was just like, shut up. Stop talking.
Oh, it's coming out soon.
It's the first time in Japan. That's going to be epic.
I'm really excited.
Oh my God, you should be. And you're out there too. I mean, you're doing like 3 shows over a few days. So you get to stretch out.
Yeah, I'm like confused as to who's coming. Like I didn't know people cared about us there like that.
They do.
It's so cool.
They do. I can tell you that already without any evidence whatsoever based on the output and what you guys create. It will matter to you.
When we go on tour, it really puts it into perspective. We had a crazy show in Portugal.
Oh my God, Portugal.
I was like, wow, these people, English isn't their first language. They know every word.
Yeah, but you know what? Look at some of the biggest bands in the world right now coming from Korea.
Right.
Coming from the Latin music space.
Right.
One of my favorite albums of the year, maybe of the last 5 years, is Oasis. And, there's not a huge amount of English, if any, on that record. So it's like, I think that's one of the beautiful things is we're finding ourselves in a space where the language of music kind of trumps the language of language.
Right.
That kind of makes sense. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Brockhampton, we kind of embody that with our range of backgrounds. Like we're just from all over the world, and we have a whole different range of tastes.
I agree. That's what makes it so special. I love how you're growing together. I don't think you can call yourself a boy band anymore. You're borderline man band now. The world's greatest man band. Listen, when the album comes through, whenever that might be, 4 strikes. Whenever the album comes through, it'd be really good to get you guys, to come to have a sort of a conversation, me or wherever it beats one, so we can dive even further once we've listened to it from start to finish. But let's just consider this a hang. And the fact you guys came in on the morning of the song and the video means a lot to us, man. We love that you guys still come through the door and can kick it with us here at Beats.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having us.
All right, DJ Snade's coming up. Here's why Brockhampton rolled through. I've been born again. Brand new music, and the video is up now as well. Go add that to your playlist. Share that with your friends. Do something good with this music. That's why it's in your hands, right? It's yours to share. Go share it. Don't be a sucker. Once again, respect to Brockhampton for coming through early on a Thursday morning. The new music out there in the video. Moving as well. Love it. I've been born again from the album Ginger. 12 tracks forthcoming, touring to be done. It's just like they never left. Crazy.